All right, guys, listen up. I've got to get something off my chest. And I've seen and been talking to a lot of investors that made this mistake, and I fell victim to it too. And I'll get into my story later on. But I don't want you to make the same mistake I made, and a lot of people make as well. They're looking at properties with one ARV in mind, and that is the wrong way to do it. And that's how people get blindsided and get crushed in real estate. And the truth is, like, if you want to survive in this business, guys, whether you're wholesaling, you're flipping, you're buying rentals, like whatever you're doing, you have to look at properties with two different values, not just one. The first one is market value. This is what the market will actually pay for the house. That's what somebody will actually buy the house for. And the second is an appraised value. That's how much you can get the house appraised for by an appraiser. So whether you're doing the BRRRR method or if you're keeping it, whatever, those numbers are not the same. And sometimes they're close and sometimes they're way off. And if you don't understand those two differences, those two numbers are not the same. And if you don't get it, guys, you're going to get in a bad deal. You're going to lose and you're going to blow up some kind of relationship and you're going to end up in a bad spot. And this is why I'm making this video, because I've seen it happen over and over again. And again, I fell victim to this, guys, but I want you to do better than me and be better than me. The first thing I want you to understand is market value is very, very simple. It is, what is somebody willing to buy the property for? What is a homeowner willing to pay for that? What is somebody that is going to buy a house? What will they pay for it? It's not a guess and it's not an estimate. It's not what you wish the house would sell for or what the house is worth. It's what real buyers are paying for homes like yours in the neighborhood. Okay. The number, it moves and it depends based on mortgage rates, inventory, days on market, your renovation quality. And honestly, it's the emotion of the buyer that matters a lot. So how do they feel when they go to the property? What does the neighborhood look like? What do the neighbors, the house to the left and the right, look like? What does all that look like? Because just because you have a house in a zip code in the same school district as another, but it's obviously a multi-mile neighborhood or community, it does not mean it's going to be worth the same as something else around the corner, because the feel is different. The emotion is different. Every house is telling a story. And I want you to look at every house and tell that story to yourself when you're going through it. I know it sounds crazy, but for me, somebody who's wholesaled 1,000 deals, and I've actually sold hundreds of houses on the market as well, I understand that. I've seen realtor feedback. I've seen buyer feedback. I understand buyers don't make sense and things don't make sense. It's really, really important to understand what is the market value of the house. And I would beg to say the market value is more important than the appraised value, because of the two, typically your market value is going to be less than your appraised value. But now let's get into appraised value and what that even means. Now let's get into appraised value. And it's a whole different game, guys. This is simple. It's what a licensed appraiser will justify the house's worth based on data. They don't care how pretty your flip looks. They don't care that you spent $50,000 in upgrades. They care about the comps, age, condition, lot size, and a bunch of rules they have to follow. Now, here's the deal. All of that stuff matters. Your finishes matter. The square footage matters. The beds, bath, all that stuff matters. But they're basing it off the actual property of what it's worth compared to other houses in the neighborhood. And let me tell you why that's different. In Cincinnati and a lot of other areas similar to Cincinnati, it is a very street by street driven area. There's a lot of communities that are different, even a few blocks over. And while I can get a property and show a valid appraised value, as a matter of fact, I'll share my example. A house that I had did in Cincinnati on Wortman, a house I got for free from one of my hard money lenders, I'll get into that story later, appraised for $310,000. And I put together an appraisal packet and I did this whole thing. And if you want me to do a video on appraisal packets, let me know. I'll do that later on. But I put together an appraisal packet and I showed how this house, based on comps, other sales of houses in the same zip code, but further down the road, about a couple miles away, a mile away, a little bit further, but they were still legitimate comps that I put together and gave to the appraiser. Well, they're like, well, Jarius, this thing's worth $310,000 or $320,000, I forget. And I'm like, well, this is amazing. Well, I'm going to BRRRR it, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. I'm going to keep it and pull out some cash. Well, while I was able to get that appraised value for the property, well, down the road, it was in a weird road. It was like it's a dead end road. The houses are really crappy. Mine was probably the nicest one, but they were building new houses literally like a block away. Brand new houses, super nice area. But my street hasn't come up yet. But that's the key to buying in up and coming neighborhoods. You're going to face that. So I kind of knew what I was getting into, but the appraised value came back at 310, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. I'm just gonna keep it, and it's gonna be great. Well, a little bit of time goes by, and I'm like, you know what? The tenant moved out. They were there for 2, 3 years. They were great. I'm like, let's just sell it. Let's just sell it, and then we'll take the cash and buy something bigger because that was a single family. So I put it on the market, 299.9, no hits. 279.9, dropped the price. Feedback, don't like the street. House too small. It was nothing about the house's finishes. It was more really just about where it was. Don't like the parking situation. Like this feedback. And people just will come up with a reason why they don't want it, right? But that's the market speaking. It's not the appraised value, it's the market spoke. And the market was like, your house isn't worth the 310 that it will appraise for, even though on paper it's worth that, but the market has a different value. So I need you to keep that in mind when you're underwriting and looking at deals, that there's going to be two sets of numbers that you really need to pay attention to. And part of that comes with telling the story of what the property is and what that looks like. Guys, and this is just so important to keep in mind because whether you're a buyer, you're flipping it, you're wholesaling it, or whatever, you've got to be looking at the property through both lenses. What can I actually sell it for? What's the buyer's strategy? What's your end strategy? What does that look like? Because we always need a plan for worst case scenario for what an exit looks like. And guys, if the numbers don't line up, then the deal doesn't make sense. Find the next deal, okay? So please, please, please keep that in mind. Luckily, I just ended up re-renting that house out, so it didn't matter that much for me. But I've seen people in way worse spots that were like, I'm going to buy and hold this. And then they go through the renovation, they put too much money in it. And then all of a sudden, they're like, I have to sell it. And well, when I ran my comps, I said it was worth this based on this. But like, you didn't, did you take into account what the market would say it's worth? You're on a crappier street. You don't have off-street parking. The layout might be funky the way you finished it. I don't know. But just you have to keep that in mind, okay? So the rule is simple, guys. The rule is before you make an offer, you need to understand both the appraised value and the market value of the property. Market value is what real buyers are paying and willing to pay in that area. And the appraised value is what can I get an appraiser to justify? And 9 times out of 10, the appraised value is going to be higher. And listen, if both numbers work, you've got a solid deal. You've got to make sure your exit lines up. If only one works, you need to dive in deeper and figure out what that means and lock up the deal for a better price. So I need you to stop analyzing with one number and start using two. That's how you're going to make smarter offers, save your buyers and a ton of headache, and ultimately close more deals. So let me know if this video is helpful. I want you to avoid the mistakes that I made. If you found any value, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.